My GF has all these rules that are driving me crazy. I am not op. Original post by you, Busco in our relationship advice. An NBSP. My GF has all these rules that are driving me crazy. The 20th of June 2022. I'm posting this from a throwaway because my GF uses Reddit and will freak out if she found out I did this. My GF, 30F, and I, 30M, have been together for 3 years. She is the best thing that ever happened to me, and I plan on marrying her. Lately, however, her rules, I call them rules, but they are more like obsessions, are driving me crazy. I know she is meticulous. I know she is particular. And I know she's a perfectionist, but I'm starting to think she has some kind of underlying OCD or something. Our house always has to be pristine, everything in its right place. But when I get off from work, I just want to relax and not care about the fact that I hung up my jacket on the wrong hook. If I try to help her with laundry, she gets frustrated because I hang up the wrong things at the wrong places. Apparently shirts go in a certain place on the laundry line and it's a disaster if they're too close to the socks. I'm not allowed barefoot outside, otherwise I have to wash my feet before I can get back into the house. I'm allowed to put my feet on the couch if I have socks or slippers, but those same socks and slippers are not allowed on the bed. Sometimes I just want to get into bed without having to put on clean socks. If a pillow so much as touches the floor, it has to be washed. But then the designated pillowcase for that particular set of sheets doesn't match, so the whole bed has to be stripped and changed. All our sheets and pillowcases are white and look exactly the same. She reminds me to pack my lunch for work every morning, which is nice and all, but she does it 4 times in a row. She tells me every morning and every night to wash and moisturize my face multiple times, and makes me promise that I will remember to do it only because I passed out on the couch and forgot one time. I've told her that it bothers me when she does this. She told me that she can't help it because it just builds and builds in her mind over and over. If she doesn't say anything, I'm not allowed to say goodbye to her in the mornings. Only see you later because goodbye could curse one of us. I'm also not allowed to say drive safe. She is currently studying for her board exams and she's already told me that I'm not allowed to say good luck because I will jinx her. She is extremely intelligent and graduated at the top of her class last year. I told her mom about how well she did and how proud I was of her. Later that night, she was bawling her eyes out. When I asked her what was wrong, she said that she knew I didn't mean anything by it, but if people are aware of how well she did, it means that she will do poorly in her board exams. Her mother told all her whole family, who then called to congratulate her, and I felt like the worst person in the world. I feel like things are just getting worse. For example, one of the cloths that we used to clean the house with is missing. We had a huge argument about it because she was tearing down the whole house trying to find it. I helped her look for it but gave up after 5 minutes because it was after work and I was tired. She got angry at me and accused me of not caring about our things. I told her that I do care about our things. But it's just a cloth and we can buy another one. It's just not worth the effort for me. She was freaking out, saying that it was difficult to find the cloths in that particular color. Otherwise it wouldn't match with the others. We have a whole set of cloths just for cleaning. I then said that it doesn't matter what color the cloths are, just that we had them, which made her really upset. It's been almost a month and we haven't replaced the cloth yet because we can't find one in the very specific color she wants it. The worst thing is that I really think it affects her health. We both love to cook and often do it together. We usually spend time together drawing up a meal plan for the week, but her rules have started to make the whole process unbearable. Meal planning takes hours. Every dish that we make has to have enough vegetables. Fine. That's great, but the vegetables have to be the right vegetables for the dish. Some things can't be eaten together because they don't fit according to her. If a meal doesn't have enough of the right vegetables, she gets incredibly anxious to the point that she's nauseous and then just won't eat. She also has this thing where food can't be wasted, and then I tell her it's fine, we can just have it for leftovers for lunch, but obviously lunch is also then planned out, so she gets really stressed out and eats a small plate of vegetables while I make myself food. I know she's struggled with depression in the past and that she's on antidepressants, but this just feels like it's something more. No matter what I do to reassure her, I just feel like I'm making things worse. I've told her that she needs to see a therapist, but she told me she feels ashamed of these things and doesn't want to waste money on a therapist. I just don't know what to do anymore. TLD, or my GF has a lot of rules that drive me crazy. Everything always has to be in its right place, and she gets anxious when it isn't. I'm not allowed to say certain things like goodbye or good luck because it will jinx her. We spent hours meal planning because every dish has to be right and only certain things can be eaten with certain things. Most of the time she stresses so much about getting enough vegetables that she gets nauseous from anxiety and just doesn't eat. I've told her that I think she needs to see a therapist, but she says it will just be a waste of money. Edit. I really didn't think it mattered, but some people have commented how these behaviors can be culturally transmitted, so I will add that she isn't Asian or Indian. She's Caucasian, as am I. Update. Thanks everyone for all your helpful advice, comments and suggestions. I will try and respond to as many as I can, but if I don't get to you, please know I appreciate the input. We had a talk last night and she agreed to go to therapy. She said she is very reluctant to go to therapy because she fears that talking about this stuff will lead to bad things happening. She told me that many of these rules are distressing to her too, but she didn't really realize they had that much of an effect on her because she was still functioning normally. She also apologized for the fact that I feel like I can't relax and said it made her very sad, and that she will do what she can to make sure I am comfortable and happy. We are also currently working on some strategies that will help ease some of the burden these rules have on me. We will be getting a coat hanger so that I don't instinctively hang my coat on the first hook I see, but rather as I come in the door, which works out better for both of us. I also made dinner on my own last night since she had a study session until very late, and she was very grateful and happy. Maybe just because she was hungry, lol, but it was a win in any case. The meal didn't fit together perfectly, according to her, and there wasn't enough vegetables, but I said that the meal fit together perfectly in my mind and that we could double up on vegetables at the next meal. She told me that by me saying that it actually made her feel a lot less stressed about it. An NBSP reminder: I am not the original poster. 100% OCD. Know some people with similar symptoms. Yikes on bikes. I hope the OOP understands that a OCD doesn't get better on its own. And B, her saying therapy will cause bad things to happen is the most glaring symptom that she has some untreated mental illness. I feel bad for her. She's living life on extra hard mode and needs help. Hope she gets it. I think she might have some underlying OCD, OOP says, listing off 10 different extremely specific rules relating to order and balance that may cause nebulous bad things and extreme anxiety to happen if they aren't followed. I really hope therapy helps her out. I'm far from any expert, but at least their advice or another view might help, especially if being told that you can have more veggies next time de-stresses her. Wow, that poor woman's mind must be torture. Having started medication for my own issues about 67 months ago, I can't recommend it highly enough. This sounds like intense anxiety that led to intense OCD. Thank goodness they communicated and are working on it together. Yikes. Sounds like a family friend of my parents. The lady is mad OCD. If she has a single plastic bottle in the house, she will drive it 30 miles to her old apartment complex and sneak into the recycling center there to throw it away because they're the only ones who do it right. Found out last year she's also paying someone $20 per bin to deep clean her trash cans every week. The human brain is an interesting thing. Swear Oop might want to have GF checked to see if she has OCD. I feel for both of them. I was diagnosed with OCD when I was 19. I can tell you that intensely stressful situations will make it worse. For me, it's checking the stove, the doors, and counting. Medication helped a little in the past, but what really helped was CBT. There are strategies you can use to manage both the obsessions and compulsions. I have obsessive-compulsive tendencies, and I swear I can feel this woman's disorder leaking through my laptop screen. Poor Oop and GF. It can't be easy living with that amount of anxiety over the little things. I hope therapy helps, and I'm sure getting the boards out of the way will help. I was never more depressed or neurotic as when I was studying for the bar exam. Do X the right way or bad things will happen is absolutely a sign of OCD. Some people talk about OCD like it's just wanting things to be clean. But it's the or else that is the real problem. I'm glad Oop is offering solutions like extra veggies the next day to relieve some of GF's stress. They seem to be communicating well, but she will probably benefit from the right therapist. She needs a lot of help. I've always suspected my mom to have OCD, but this post basically confirms it. Skull. Classic case of OCD. If not treated or addressed with psychotherapy, it will only get worse. Sadly, I know from experience. Don't say it or it will happen. Everyone zones in on obsessive cleanliness and organization when mentioning OCD, but that's the big flag for me. This is very clearly horrifying OCD, and I'm amazed Op put up with it as long as he did. Anecdotal, but I've noticed that a lot of people seem to have their OCD tendencies get worse right around 30, including me. However, it may also have to do with COVID, especially since a lot of her routines center around cleanliness. They're currently doing studies into how COVID has particularly affected people with OCD. I see a lot of people who don't understand OCD. But for once, as someone with actual OCD, yeah, that sounds like OCD. I'm no doctor, but this sure sounds like OCD to me. As a person with OCD, this was tough to read. It's such a difficult mental illness. Hope OOP's girlfriend got some help.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.